All right. Well, welcome, Team Fit Revival. We are excited to have a guest on our call tonight, Miss Joy Bowen. I'm going to introduce her, give her a proper introduction here in just a little bit, but I'm excited about tonight. Usually, we do things a little differently, and so we're not used to having these like pop-up trainings like this, but I'm excited because one of the biggest questions that I feel like I get from coaches who maybe have been doing this for a few months is, oh man, I feel like I don't know who else to invite. So raise your hand if you've ever thought that, if you've ever asked your upline that, or maybe, I don't know, felt like maybe that was a problem. So I'll go ahead and raise my hand. So I definitely asked my upline about that several times when I was starting out. And so one of the things that I learned about that is that it wasn't her job to tell me exactly how to add people to my list. And so I think when I realized that, I was like, man, she's given me some great tools here, but it's up to me to go out and grow my list and to meet more people and to build these relationships with these people that I'm meeting. And so the thing about growing your list, I feel like, is that it's not an exact science. It's more like an art. It's more of an art than a science. So there's definitely some best practices. There's definitely lots of great tools and suggestions, but really there's an art to it. And so I know for all of y'all who are like me, like maybe a little type A, you like for it to be like an ABC thing where you check and you're done. I get it. Like it's hard. And this is a part of the business where I really had to grow into, because I was not good at this in the beginning. And so I'm excited for Joy to share with you tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share my slides here. Zoom always changes where they put the buttons. Sometimes the buttons are at the top and sometimes they're at the bottom. Okay, so I just want to talk real quick because I want to make sure we give the floor to Joy as quickly as possible here. But so last week I talked about planning your month. And so this is something I'm really harping on this month with y'all because I feel like this is super important. So if your goal is Success Club 5 or 6, then you have to reverse engineer your plan, right? So if you know that it takes like maybe 20 invites to have one person say yes, and your goal is to have at least 2 people say yes, then that means you need to send out at least 40 invites, right? And it may be that it doesn't take you 20 people. Maybe it takes you 10 or 15. So whatever that number is to you, you need to be able to kind of reverse engineer and know what you need to do throughout the month in order to make your goals happen. Maybe your goal is Success Club 10. So it's, there again, it's going to look a little bit different. But when you're planning your month, when you start doing that consistently, you create this rhythm of consistency in your business. And these free groups that we're going to talk about tonight is part of that rhythm of consistency. So just as review, I broke down each week of the month for you guys last week. And so I'm just showing you this week's screen, but we talked about what you should be jabbing with on social media. So remember, jabbing is just talking about what you're doing with your fitness, taking people along for the ride, taking people on your journey with you. You're not asking people to be part of anything. You're not doing any kind of call to action when I say jab. So, but you're really focused on jabbing fitness, nutrition, and success stories at least 4 times this week. And then I would suggest jabbing your business, kind of a lifestyle post, like anything that you appreciate about being a coach, or that maybe coaching allows you to do that you wouldn't have gotten to do before, things like that. That's what I'm talking about there. Do that at least one time this week. And then I do suggest that you have a call to action post at some point this week for your March challenge group. So you need at least 2 to 2.5 weeks to invite to a challenge group, in my opinion. So, and most likely, if you're running a free group for February, you did it last week or you're doing it this week. So I feel like I got a little feedback from our advisory board, and they said that they typically do theirs on the last week of the month or the first week of the month. And so it's up to you how you want to do that, but those are generally the most common months or weeks, sorry. So when you get into this rhythm of hosting free groups and hosting a challenge group monthly, then you have a really good system of consistency and a really good way to make sure that you're doing all of these things here. You're building relationships, you're providing value. Free groups are great for helping you gain confidence in hosting groups. So I love this for new coaches, because sometimes leading a big challenge group can be a bit intimidating, right? It allows you to empower people to take baby steps into better health. So maybe the big challenge group is intimidating to your customer, and they need to, we just talked about this on the previous call that I did with our cup group, but sometimes people aren't ready to go 2 feet in. They need to put 1 foot in, and then you need to help them along the way gradually put that other foot in. And so these free groups enable you to do that. And they also help you earn these referrals that we're talking about. And I think Joy's going to talk more about that. So Joy is my friend. We go to the same church. We are sister coaches, I guess you could say. So we share the same upline. Stephanie Richardson is our coach. And Joy has done some amazing things in her business over the last 3 years. So she, year before, in 2015, she was a premier coach. And then this past year, her and her team, Team Rising Phoenix, they are an elite team, which, as you guys know, is a really exciting accomplishment. So there are very few teams in the network that reach that goal. So she's in her 3rd year of coaching. So that's super exciting. Joy, how many months have you been in Success Club?
Every month. So I don't have lost count. I'm a Success Club All-Star legend at this point. Whatever. So almost 2.5 years now. However many that is.
So it's safe to say that she reaches Success Club consistently, like every month, right? Without non-negotiable. And so I asked her, like, if she would be willing to share with us this income progression here. And so I asked for this because I wanted you guys to see the correlation between her income and the consistency in which she has run these free groups and how it has helped her to grow her business in the meantime. So, you guys can see here, but her first year, it looks like she really was only working like the first 6 months.
I came in July.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, and you guys can see that in 2015, she was making a full-time income in the next year. And then this year, it's like almost double, which is awesome, right? But I just watched her do amazing things in her business over the last 3 years. And so I know you guys hear from me a lot, and I've been doing this for a little bit longer. And so I feel like it's a really positive thing for you guys to hear from somebody like Joy, who has worked her tail off. I've I can attest to that. But that has seen a lot of success based on the things that I've shared with you already and that she's going to share with you here tonight. So, Joy, I am going to stop my share here.
Sweetness.
And let you have the floor.
Okay. Oh, yay! Look at that. No technical glitch. I love that. So yeah, I feel like we need to put like the Beachbody income disclaimer there after what Amber said. Like all that is based on, your effort and your skill and patience. Honestly, that's what it is. Andrew and I just decided at the very beginning that we were not going to judge our success based on any moment in time or any outcome or any rank. Because this business, a lot of people think that it's going to be this linear thing because we see charts like the one that she just shared about our income progression. And the reality is that there's a lot of highs and a little bit of dips, right? And so Andrew and I knew that that's the nature of this business, and we decided that we were not going to judge our success or failure based on any given moment in time in our business, that we were going to judge our success in this business based on our faithfulness to the process. And so I think that's super important to drive home from the get-go, that this is not a quick fix kind of thing. This is something that the only thing you can control is your effort. And really at the end of the day, that's everything, because you have absolute control over that. So before I get into this Warren and Annabelle story that's here real quick, I just want to give you a little background in case you don't know me. I told Stephanie no to coaching for 7 years, you guys. 7 years. So like that dream person that you would love to have on your team, never take them off that list. You just never know how life is going to turn around for them. But basically, I was a huge skeptic. I was on her dream team list when she first started as a Beachbody coach. And I was like a no way Jose kind of girl. I had done a network marketing opportunity in my early 20s. We wound up in a lot of debt, and I wasn't really excited about revisiting that. And so I was like hot potato, and I knew she was going to come ask me. I knew it. And she did. And I was like, I will cheer for you, and I know you'll do great. And she did. But it's not for me. I threw away samples of Shakeology. I was that person. And my family went through back-to-back-to-back medical whammies. With my youngest son, with my husband almost dying from an atrial flutter episode that took him into ICU and a care flight and all sorts of crazy. And then I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 41 with no history in my family. It was detectable by mammogram only. We were really super aggressive with a bilateral mastectomy and reconstruction. And on the heels of that, I just felt like I lost myself. I was in a job for an organization that I loved, a nonprofit organization that was, it focused on helping ministry leaders in churches all across the globe. But I felt like I wasn't able to have any more opportunity in that job. And I had been kind of self-medicating my depression from the diagnosis with food. So nothing in my closet fit. So I just kind of felt like I lost my spark altogether. And Stephanie posted this transformation, and I was like, oh gosh, like you have abs. I know you. Like I know you're like a normal person, like my friend. And so I said, I don't care what you're doing. I want to do that because I want that. And so I said yes. And I signed up as a customer. I had no intention of coaching. I shared that I was doing this PIO program. I had 3 ladies from my church reach out and say, hey, like we want to go on the strength building part of your journey with you. And so Stephanie said, well, would you like the money back or should I keep the referral money? And I was like, well, how much is it? And she's like, well, it'll be about 140, 150 bucks. And I was like, oh my gosh, we were in so much medical debt, you guys. I thought, I just want to get the cost of my challenge pack back. And so she's like, just sign up as a preferred customer. So I go to the website and it says coach. And I message her. I'm like, yo, Stephanie, it says coach. She's like, oh, don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything. You can cancel in a month. So she tricked me. But you know what? I think like a week in, to that decision, Andrew and I started talking about how we really felt like this was God's opportunity to work things all together for the good of those who love him. That maybe this is the way that I can help women reduce breast cancer and, help them love how they feel in their clothes and what they see in the mirror again. And so we just jumped in and we never looked back. And, 6 months in, we knew this was the biggest blessing for our family. And so it's an honor to be with you tonight. It would be super easy just to tell you why and when to host challenge groups, but I want to start with a little story. My prayer is really that something is shared tonight that kind of is a golden nugget for you. But Andrew and I went to Maui. Anybody like Hawaii? We went to Maui many years ago. We went to this little magic show called Warren and Annabelle's. And it was, kind of on the strip mall. Like it wasn't a flashy sign. You never would hear about it, but like we heard about it from somebody else at the resort and we thought, well, why not? Let's go check it out. And it was phenomenal. So Warren is the magician. Annabelle is the ghost who plays the piano. You go, you have cocktails and listen to Annabelle play the piano. And then you go and you are like wowed beyond imagination with Warren because he does all sleight of hand magic. It's like you're right in front of him and you're like, how in the world did he do that? So he performs an amazing show. It really was one of our best experiences. We still to this day talk about it. And this was a trip that we went on, like 12, 13, 14 years ago. Well, at the end of his show, he gets up and he says to everyone, we don't do any advertising at all. We don't pay for a single ad and for anything. We only are known by word of mouth. And you think about it, like this is a tourist town, right? Like these aren't people who live on the island. These are people who come like maybe once, maybe sometimes in a lifetime, right? And so he said, if you would just be so kind and tell people about us, that would be the greatest thank you could give to us. And so when I started coaching, I joined the Sprint to Diamond group, and one of the gals in that group shared about these free 5-day, 7-day, whatever day groups that you could run. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's my Warren and Annabelle story. Because at the end of the day, referrals can be so super powerful for your business. But the moral of the story that I just shared with you with Warren and Annabelle is that there were kind of these, what I perceived to be 3, magic ingredients, if you will. One, he honored his brand promise to us. Like he provided an excellent experience, an excellent show. He delivered on, giving us something that we would remember for a lifetime. Like he made us feel wonder and awe, right? He delivered value with excellence. Like we still to this day talk about it. And he committed, he told us like he was going to be there until he dies, like he was going to be there forever, which made us feel confident in referring people to him because we really didn't feel like he was just there for a season and then, packing it up and heading back to the States. So before we get into like the why and how and what of the free groups, I want to get you guys thinking about what is your brand promise? What is it that you want people to feel once they've, connected with you and gone through a group with you? Do you want them to feel encouraged? Do you want them to feel like you're like one of their best friends, or like, the person that they can text that, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did the burpee thing? What is it about you that you want them to experience when they come into one of your full groups, right? Because that's going to determine their willingness to refer other people to you. The second thing is I want you guys to really think through how are you delivering what you do with excellence? And that's not perfection, by the way. You can be excellent and passionate, but man, if you go back to the pictures or the social media posts I was making when I first started as a coach, like it's the same stock images that everybody uses, right? Like my strategy was to go to coaches like Amber and, look through her, pictures. And then I would download them and share them with some of my words, right? Everybody does that. And that's so fine. But I knew that I wanted to bring excellence to the table when someone finally said yes to me. because I knew that they would tell someone that I was a great coach down the road. And then 3, I want to encourage you guys to decide that you're going to be here 10 years from now, not just a year from now. When we got started, Anna and I were like, well, let's just give it our all and best effort for a year and reevaluate things and see if we still want to do this, you know? And I know life happens and sometimes we have to shift directions, but guys, like you are developing a business that values relationships. So make the commitment now, like stop having to decide over and over again if you're still going to be all in next month. Like just make the commitment, like I'm all in 10 years from now. And I promise you, you won't waste all that mental energy debating whether it's worth it or not. You'll just trust the process, okay? So brand promise. A brand promise really is something super simple. All it is like, this is what I will deliver to you, okay? So before, you start running a whole bunch of free groups, I want you guys to really think through, like, what is it that you want to deliver to people? What kind of experience? How much energy do you want to provide to them? How do you want them to feel, right? I think that's worth giving some thought to before you just do a lot of how. You got to kind of like think of what is the special sauce to what you do. Lead with excellence. So you can't control other people. You can't control, especially people on your team or the people who come into your free groups. Like, you can't control what they're going to decide to do or not do, but you can control your own effort, and that is everything in this business. So some will, some won't, some won't. So what? Next. Like, that's the attitude I have, okay? So if you write anything else down, write this on your mirror. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. That's your attitude. Will you be here? Referrals will not come to you if you're not committed to excellence. And remember that you are in the relationship business, okay? So can you imagine if you had developed this friendship, or you're even going to your family and friends and you're asking them to take a next step with you and believe in you as a coach, but secretly in the back of your head, you're like, man, if this doesn't work out, I'm totally out in 3 months. That's not the kind of relationship that people want in a coach, or really in any business. They want somebody who they can rely on. So be that kind of person going into it. Okay, let's get to the nitty gritty. The why and the when and all the what. So why should you do this? Because it is a lot of work. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. For the first 2 years of my business, I ran for a majority of that time, like at the very beginning, it was just one challenge group. But once I caught the vision of what the free groups could do, I ran a challenge group, full 30 days, and a free group every single month. And then when I started having a team, I ran 2 full challenge groups. I still do this to this day, and 1 free group every single month. So that's a lot of work, but it's worth it. So I use free groups to build relationship. And I've totally failed forward in this. I used to make people sign up, for an account and please, request me as your assigned coach. I used to make them jump through all these hoops. And now I'm learning that free groups just need to be free. Just no strings attached. Bless, 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 bless. No expectations that they're going to take a next step. It's simply to build a relationship and connect with people, because they have to feel like they can trust you before they're going to take a next step with you. So this is kind of your interview process. This is where you get to shine and you get to show them exactly what they're going to get in your 30-day groups and so much more. Don't overthink when, just do them a lot and consistently. The way I have kind of felt like my month works best, I've shifted my thinking from operating in a month calendar to I shift my dates to think about my 30-day month that starts on the 15th and ends on the 15th of the following month. I hope that makes sense. But that way, I'm trying to hit Success Club by the 15th of the month. And that way, that's kind of like the end of that 30-day cycle for me. So my challenge group typically starts on the 2nd Monday of the month. And then that's my full challenge group. And my free challenge group will start on the 3rd Monday of the month. So that's what works for me, but it's different for everybody. and you should do whatever works best for you. Okay, whoops. So first of all, this is so like basic, but I'm not going to assume that everyone understands or knows what to do, because we could have new coaches on here. But the first step obviously is to set up your group page. I set it up as a public group so people can be added to it. And then once the group officially begins, I will change that security setting to closed. But that allows people to be added or request to join the group, and it can, you know, get big real fast. This one we've set up to start next Monday, the 13th. And we posted, this is for like our Team Cup group, we're co-leading one. We posted about it last night, and we have about 30 people in the group already. So that will continue to grow throughout the week. Step 2, during the Super Bowl last night, which was prime time, we announced that we were doing a 5-day group. Like, people were pigging out all day, so they might as well have a place to go. And it's really, I don't overthink it. I'll either share a picture of, you know, some yummy food, or it'll be a graphic with me in it. It really, you don't have to overthink it. It's not about the graphic. But basically, I told them, hey, friends, I don't know if you guys can read this, but I have to tell you, Andrew Bowen has turned our crock pot into a sous chef. When we realized I was picking up pizza for our family on a regular basis, we knew something had to change. The crock pot has saved us, especially when he is traveling. So just a little tip in your social media posts, like try to weave in a personal story, or like let them see a little behind the scenes into your life. So I'm not just saying here, hey, join my free group. I'm telling them like, hey, like this has made a big impact, a big difference in our life. Like, we're normal too. We buy the pizza for our teenagers all the time. So then I tell them we're hosting a free crock pot group, and here's what you'll get. And I tell them exactly what they can expect in the group. Comment I'm in and join the group, and I provide the link. And then I also add a statement there that says, if you want to share this post and bring a friend, you'll be put into a drawing for a $15 iTunes gift card. So you don't have to do that, but you know, I'm just feeling like I want to be generous. But this is where the secret sauce lies, is what happens after you make the post. So for me, what I then will do is go to all of my discount coaches and all of my current challengers. So if you think about it, you have a full challenge group going, and you've been making deposits in the relationship piggy bank for quite a while, at least a week or two, right? You had those deposits you were making while you were connecting with them and hearing their story, the deposits you made encouraging them to go ahead and believe in themselves enough to try a 30-day group. Deposits as they started the group, you know, hopefully you're getting on the phone and doing a new challenger call. That's another deposit. Deposits as you send them an email saying like, I'm so excited for our group to start, right? So now, when you've made that kind of relational deposit, you can ask for a small withdrawal. So I go to all my challengers who are currently in groups, and I say, hey friend, I have a huge favor to ask. Would you be willing to share about my Facebook post about my free upcoming 5-day group, and include a little personal comment about, you know, your experience with me? And so I give them the original link, and I you know, tell them seriously, like, no pressure if you don't want to share this. It's super important to add your own comment. Otherwise, people think you're just sharing some crazy pic of some strange chick or some strange food. But then I will give them a sample post to share with the link. Okay, so I'm really trying to control the conversation and the quality of the post as much as possible. And don't worry, I have all of this for you. So you do not I have a link, so you do not need to write this down, okay? So literally, it's just like, hey friends, I've taken this challenge before. I love it. I lost weight. I have more energy. And best of all, I've connected to a positive group of people. My friend is offering a free 5-day healthy crock pot challenge starting up on Monday, February 13th. It's organized through Facebook, so you can live anywhere and participate. She'll give you the menu, shopping list, exercise challenges. Let's do this together, okay? So you've asked them to share something that's free, And that is actually a baby step in coaching behavior. So they don't even know it. They're just super excited to help you and be a part of your story, but you're just helping them take a baby step as a coach. It's awesome. So now when they share, and they're going to have people commenting under their post or jumping into your group or whatever, but now you have a pool of people that you can reach out to through Messenger and send a friend request to anyone who joins the group. You can then start forming them and introduce yourself to these people who want to be a part of your free group. Not everyone will want to correspond with you, and that's okay. Keep messaging them anyway. So even when they join the group and I reach out and I, tell them about my story and I ask them about what they're hoping to work on and I'd like to get to know them. If I don't hear back from them, I still will message them on these 3 critical days. The Sunday before we start, I will send them a message to say, do you have everything you need? I'm so excited for you to get started. I've been praying for your week. And then even if they don't respond, I will typically send them sometimes even a voice memo on Facebook Messenger. It's a really cool feature for them to hear your voice. But I will send them like, oh my gosh, can you believe it? We're at the halfway mark. I'm so proud of you. Like, you are creating a new healthy legacy just in these 5 days. Way to go, finish strong. That finish line is right in front of you. And then on Saturday, I will begin my follow-up process. How do you feel? How'd it go? Do you have any scale or non-scale victories, right? So if they don't respond after Saturday, I will typically wrap it up with like, hey, I'm guessing the week didn't work out very well for you. Would you like me to email you the menu plan from our week? Sometimes I'll get a response to that, and then I can add them to like my MailChimp email list, or I can keep in contact with them that way, or it'll open up a new conversation. So yeah, always just be generous to give it away. You'll be surprised. So when you are ready to end the week, and I have all the resources for you to do a free group, by the way. So you guys don't have to reinvent the wheel. I haven't ever reinvented the wheel. Everything's always been given to me. I've pieced it together, so why should you? So when you are wrapping up your group, I think live video in your Facebook groups is so important. I know it's nerve-wracking, but I want to encourage you, especially in your closed groups. It's a safe place. Like, there's only those people in them. It's not going out to like all of Facebook land. So you can feel like you're in a safe place too. I would share my story through a live video in the group because it's going to go into their feed even more than a static post. And especially when you're wrapping up, after you've blessed them for the entire 5 or 7 days or 14 or however many days you want to make your group, you can do a live video. And you can basically tell them, like, the support doesn't have to end here. I have a 30-day group that's starting up on X date, and we would love to have you join us. You can explain that it's a 4-week program where we help match you up with a fitness program and nutrition plan that meets your needs. And we set goals, and I guide you through the process so that you can start and finish this program and get the results that you want. So you can impress upon them, like, this is just scratching the surface of the type of support and resources that I'm going to provide you with. And so after you follow up with them, through this live video, you can then start your 5-step invitation process, right? Like, you're not gonna, the fortune is in the follow-up. So some may take a step with you now, some may wait for 6 months or a year before they get committed to you. That's why it's important not to evaluate the effectiveness of doing free groups based on the outcome of any one group. You need to be consistent over time. I have some free groups where I get, a few leads right away that convert into a 30-day group. And I have several groups where it takes a while. But I know that I'm building relationship and they're watching me. And I want to be the person, I want to be the name that comes to mind when they start thinking about, oh gosh, I have this event to get ready for, or I need to lose 20 pounds. What am I going to do? Joy. I did that free group with her. Why don't I just reach out to her and see if I can get in her full challenge group? Okay. So this is what you can write down, because in this link is a folder to all the free, like the script, the images, everything you need, and a menu, a crock-pot menu, everything you need to run your own free 5-day group, okay? In fact, it's like my latest refined script, so you get like the latest version of everything that I'm doing. So let me see if it would help to show you something real fast. I'm seeing that I missed, like one of my slides got deleted accidentally. Nope, we don't want that one. Hold on. Bear with me. Here we go. Ta-da! So you can see here is the post. It's had 4 shares, 10 comments so far with people saying that they want in. Andrew and I just did a silly live video kind of encouraging people to jump on in. So we did that like 10 minutes before jumping on your call.
I don't think it's showing up.
Oh, hang on.
There, baby.
Here we go. Can you see it now?
Yay!
All right, here we go. So this is our little silly live video. Poor Andrew, who's over 6 feet tall, has to squat every time he gets on camera with me because otherwise he wouldn't be seen. But we did this about 10 minutes before hopping on this call, so people are beginning to comment underneath it, so that's good. This was our original post last night at Super Bowl. So we've got, you know, it's not outstanding, like crazy engagement, but it's okay. Like I'm excited about people liking it. 4 shares, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 comments. That's not bad. So then in the group, just so you can see a little bit. Oh, look, 2 want to join. Should we let them in? We should. Oh, Gina, that makes me happy. I've been wanting her to take a next step for like literally almost 3 years. So in the Crock-Pot Challenge, you try to have the page set up as much as possible. I don't post the menu until like I'll post it tomorrow, but I don't want to post it too soon because then people will just download it and leave. So I want them to kind of see a little bit in the group. But I used to, I keep going back and forth. Sometimes I'll have like a Beachbody on demand workout plan for them already listed. But I find that honestly, people are really skeptical about creating an account. So I have these circuit challenges. If they're not in the folder that I've created for you, I'm happy to add them. Just let me know, Amber. And then, so I have a low impact and then a regular option. So they repeat the round 3 times. And you'll see like in each workout, there's some links to YouTube videos to teach them how to do the move if they don't know what side jacks are, kind of thing. We also have a welcoming post in here. We're beginning to post our introductions. So like this was here when they joined the groups, they could know who the heck I was in case there was some like strangers. And then I actually include 5 days of devotion. So I just use stuff from Made to Crave and have little devotions there every day. In addition to like my daily post, you know, that's in the schedule or the script that you guys will get. So anyway, can you elaborate on running 2 groups? Is it because you want to keep them a smaller size, or what determines who is in what group? That's a great question, Ashley. I assume you're meaning like the 2 challenge groups. Well, right now I host one for myself on the 2nd Monday of the month. And then on the last Monday, the 4th Monday of the month, I run a co-led one for our Coach Academy, which gives them 4 weeks to find their first 2 or 3 people to help. And then we kind of, you know, co-lead that group together. And if I have a few stragglers who happen to want to get started, but, you know, they've missed the start date of my group, they can plug into that one. I hope that answers your question. Can we join your crockpot group to get an idea of how it's run? I mean, you can. I've given everything to you in a folder though. So if you want to join my group, you can definitely request to join and be a fly on the wall. I have no problem with that. Anyone else?
Joy, this has been amazing. So you do this beautifully, and one thing that I have learned from you, is that you always find a way to bless people. And so I feel like a lot of times we let the conversation just be over or stop at a certain place when we don't know how to address the objection or when we don't know how to move forward. And so you do such a great job of just continuing to bless people, and that's such a beautiful thing. And you totally have blessed us tonight with just how you run these free groups and how you have it all put together so amazingly well. And there's no wonder you have seen the success that you've seen. I know you've worked tirelessly for it, but there's no wonder why. It's very easy to see why you've been so successful. But anyways, I just appreciate your time and all of the resources and the scripts and the very detailed, not just the how, but the why. So I think that was super important, and I'm glad that you covered that. So thank you, friend.
You are welcome. I hope it helps everybody just have an amazing year. That's all. That's the biggest thank you could give any of us, is to take the information that we give to you and actually put it into play.
For sure. For sure. Well, good. Awesome. I'm going to let you guys go tonight. So hopefully that gives you some things to chew on. I will take this link and post it in our team page so that you can grab it there in case you missed it. But again, Joy, thank you. And for the rest of you guys, I will get the recording up. Joy, I can pass it on to you as well if you would like it.
Yeah, I saw that Ashley had one quick question about limited spots or 3 spots left. Maybe for a full group, but not for a free group. But, I try not to use that verbiage because it's really not true. So I do, but I have for like the full groups. But, let's be honest, if we had 100 people coming up to us saying, please let me in your group, we'd figure out. I did for Team Cup, I had 3 separate groups because I wanted to keep them intimate. That was crazy. So I had 3 groups of 25 people. So anyway, that made it a little bit more relational.
I agree with that. So, and even the full challenge groups, I'm having a hard time. I really feel like I don't think I could really truly help more than about 10 people a month. Truly, and even at that, I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think you're right to say, a free group is a little different because you're opening your net a little further there.
Yeah, not everyone's going to respond to you, but I will say, I sometimes put more work into that free group than even my full groups, because again, it's kind of like your interviewing process. They are evaluating whether they're going to take a next step with you now or in the future, So yeah, but it's worth it.
For sure.
All right, ladies, thanks for having me. I hope it was a blessing, and go have an amazing year.
Thank you, Joy.
Bye.
Bye, you guys.